Okay, we got the 5 categories here at the start, at the bottom. All these other categories, just pretend they're not there. We'll just do that for now. I know you can still see them, but please just, they're not there. Let's start with the top. 120 star. 120 star is pretty hard. I mean, a 135.28 is very good, but Suigi's SOB is a mid to low 133. So there's a lot of time save there. The problem is there's not many people who are actually that good to get a 135.30. You know what I mean? Right now, there's like a few main people who have a chance. Karen is probably the most likely one to like break the record. Parsi has recently been coming up. Bro is actually getting a 135 pretty quickly since he started grinding 120. You know, Callie is grinding. He definitely has the skill required to get a 135, the consistency, but I would put him like 3rd on that. Yeah, and now Suigi is trying 120 star, so that's gonna, if he's able to break the record like he did with 70 star, which we'll get to in a moment, it's definitely gonna be like impossible. It's definitely gonna be a lot harder. So right now, I put this in maybe. I think 120 has a chance of being the one that gets broken. I think a lot of people see that it's the most likely one to be broken because of Karen's PB being 2 seconds behind. I am of the opinion that it's not as close as it seems. And we'll get to that on why I think that on these next categories. So I think 120 star, we put that in maybe. I think maybe is pretty good. Not a Karen believer. I don't go. You go. Karen is very consistency pilled, which means that he has to get a perfect run basically. So next up is 70 star, and 70 star is a very interesting one because the story throughout the bounty for 70 star has changed a lot. So when a bounty first came out, I think everyone would have put this as most likely. And the reason was because a 46.28 is really good, but it's definitely beatable. It's like one of those world records that has a lot of mistakes in it. It's the world record that Suigi went for just to break the record for the 5 out of 5. That was the last record he got for the 5 out of 5. And so he didn't really feel the need to improve the 70 star record, right? And so I think a lot of people would have put it on most likely. And in the first few days of the bounty, 70 star looked like it was gonna fall like any moment. Benji got a world record pace into throws, into the last throw that would have gotten the bounty. At the time, it was only around 2,000. It was a few $1,000s, but he almost got the bounty like 3 days after it was announced. Ouija had some crazy pacers as well into Tippy and Bits, but then the big Suigi happened. The Suigi incident. Suigi decided to come back to 70 star because people were saying it's the easiest one. And within 1 day of doing runs, he broke world record. 22. It was a 46.22, and then the next day he lowered it to a 46.11, which is where it's at right now. Because it got lowered so much, all the free time save kind of disappeared because, you know, Ouija's runs were breaking the record by a few seconds back when it was 46.28. And Benji's run was probably the best out of all of them, but it was still would have gotten like a high 1x. 46.11 is just insane. So I think at this point 70 star has moved down quite a bit. Where do we put this? I feel like it's in maybe because it still has a chance. There's a lot of people, and by a lot of people I mean Benji and Ouija, grinding 70 star, and Benji's really good at the game. Like, he's cracked. Along with Ouija. Ouija is very good at the game, you know? It's just all about changing up a run that has everything perfectly. And Benji actually has a bigger advantage over Ouija, in my opinion, because Benji goes for elevator clip in Wet Dry World, and if he hits that first try, that saves him 8 seconds. I don't know if Ouija has started doing that, but elevator clip is definitely something that is becoming more and more needed in 70 star to world record. Watch Poke put literally all 5 categories in maybe. I'm not gonna do that. Hopefully. Okay, let's do 16. Okay, we got the 1435, right? The famous 1435 in there. That is a perfect run, right? For the time. A lot of stuff has changed since the 1435, which has made it a lot more beatable. Suigi himself has had 2x paces into Sky. GTM today just had a crazy run that was less than a second behind a world record out of Fire Sea. Slip got a PB a few days after the bounty was announced, or the day after. Okay, if I put 16 in probably, I feel like I should move 70, right? Okay, so I'll put 16 in maybe, but I'll put 70 in probably. The thing with 16 star is that there's not many people grinding, but the people that are grinding have real chances to get it because of all the new strats. So it's like maybe, yeah, I think I'll put in 70 there. I think 70 is still has a better chance of world record than 16. It has a better chance than 16 and 120 to be broken. And now for my most hated category and my best, favorite, amazing, awesome category. Try to guess which one's which one. So for my most hated category, 1 star. Okay, this one's very interesting because 1 star world record is just really fucking good. It's just no chance. It's just, we're straight up no chance. 1 star is not going to be the one that's broken for this bounty. The thing with 1 star is that nearly everything about the run is perfect. Almost everything is perfect. The only things he messed up on that I can remember is the SBLJ wasn't optimal because he was trying to go for 0 star, right? So he lost probably 1.5 seconds there. For mistakes, that's probably the only thing. Optimizations, you can do poke walk in Dark World, or Bordeaux walk, or frame walk, or any walk up the pillar you want, and save time over the record. But it's gonna be less than a second. So you're not playing with that much time. And to make stuff even worse, like, let me pull up something. So this is the community best sheet. So this has the best times anyone has ever gotten on any segment, right? Humanly. And then we also have the ideal run. What is not humanly possible, but like the best you could possibly do. I guess it's humanly, but like some of this shit is just stupid. Anyways, if we go to 0 and 1 star here, we'll see that the sum of best for 1 star is a 645. World record is a 653. So from a 645 to a 653, there is 8 seconds. There's 8 seconds of leeway from the best the entire community has ever played. This LBLJ alone, you'll lose like 2 of those seconds. Because this is an insane LBLJ that no one goes for. Because it's so inconsistent. Tag got the community best for Dark World because he hit a poke walk really cleanly and didn't even get the dance. It was just the cleanest poke walk you've ever seen. And then he doesn't even get the dance. Best Dark World. Another W for poke walk, I guess. And then we start kind of dying down on the possibility of saving these frames. Kusabi's DDD is wild. Fire Sea BLJ's is insane as well. And then Bowser in the Sky at 116 is beyond cracked. It requires a perfect bit and a perfect throw segment. 1 star, I would say, has no chance of being the one to be broken, because the gap between the community best and the world record is just so small. And we'll see that when we talk about 0 star. With 0 star, they're all interesting. All these categories are interesting. What can I say? But 0 star has a lot going for it. Back to community best. 0 star's community best is a 604. World record is a 614. Right? So that's 10 seconds of leeway, right? Over 1 star. Being a longer category only has 8, right? So we're already off to a good, start there. With 10 seconds to play with, you have more of a chance to actually get world record. So what you can do is get a 119, get a good dark world, right? Get a crazy D2D skip, and then just hit the rest of it kind of normally, and you'll be ahead of record by a few seconds. Compared to this, there's no shot you'll be ahead of record by a few seconds. 0 star, I actually think, has the greatest chance of being the category that is broken for the bounty, just because of how realistic and it is to be broken by CJ or Trey Bordeaux or Tag. Any 3 of them could do it. CJ is another player that's been very close to getting the bounty. So you've probably heard of Benji's paces, Karen's paces, Ouija's paces that are really good, but you don't hear much about CJ's paces. He actually had a pace into Sky that was ahead of world record by, I think, at least a second. I believe myself. Here's the thing with 0 star, is that you have to be in college or unemployed. The thing is that it's just RNG. It's like we're just throwing ourselves at the D2D skip portal hoping to get a run going, right? And if you don't have 8 hours a day to do that, you're kind of cooked. All right, so I guess ending off this bounty tier list, which ones will probably be broken? No chance 1 star. I agree with that 100%. I don't have any doubt about 1 star being the hardest category possible to break the bounty with. With the maybe category, 16 and 120, maybe Karen, Parsi, it can do it. 16 star, there are some runners as well that are really close. 70 star, I think it's probably, I think I still agree with this. Even though the world record was lowered, I think it's still possible, because 45 pace into Tippy has been achieved quite a bit of times at this point. And then 0 star, I think, is most likely just based on how much the difference between community best and the world record, plus how short the category is, right? You can just spam runs if you have time. Just spam a shit ton of runs. I think that's the tier list. I think that's the factual 100%. No lies here. No misinformation available. Factual tier list. Guys, okay. We have this tier list on just based on how I feel everything is, how likely everything is to occur from an outside perspective. But there's also another side to breaking the bounty that I don't think a lot of people think about. And that is just the grind itself. It's so difficult. The grind to beat any of these records is so hard. $10,000 is a lot of money. But these grinds are so fucking boring, bro. 0 star grind is so mind-numbingly boring. So, that's another, that's just, some other tier list of, how likely it is based on how boring the category is. 0 star is most likely just based on time saves and stuff, but boredom factor and how much it takes to grind, oh my gosh. I don't know. I would put 70 star higher because 70 star actually is kind of fun. 16 star is kind of fun. There's actually content in there. 0 star is just so mind-numbingly boring. Think about it like this. World records is 6:14, right? That's 6 minutes and 14 seconds. How long is the intro? The intro is 55 seconds. That's almost a sixth of your run doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. You're doing nothing for a sixth of your run. Dude, that is so boring. And then you reset. Most likely, if you get past Dark World, you'll reset before the 3-minute mark. And then it happens where a third of every run you do is just the intro. Now I'm thinking, let me look at all these categories and see which category is the easiest record to break. Never mind, I can't do this because I don't know most of these categories, to be honest. But here it is. Live voting poll, what is this? Oh, I gotta log in. I'm not doing that. Oh, back to Mario.